I'm going to call the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission order. We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Be seated. Okay, welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Need a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Need a motion for approval of the minutes from December 13, 2025, Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, aye. Okay, new business. P-361 Northwest Elliott Avenue, E.D. Marie Drive, residual lands of Jeffrey A. and Stephanie A. Wilkinson. Property identification number 135.004/Sussex CTM number 134-12-327.00. Application P-361 submitted by Plitco LLC on behalf of the property owners Jeffrey A. and Stephanie A. Wilkinson for the subdivision of one parcel of land into 4 residential lots and 1 open space parcel on property zone R1 single family residential located at Northwest Elliott Avenue, East D. Marie Drive, residual lands of Jeffrey A. and Stephanie A. Wilkinson's property identification number 134.004/Sussex CTM number 134-12-00327.00. Mr. Lober?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I would like to point out and clarify that this is the second time that you have all seen this application. That was here previously as a concept. Tonight it's a preliminary. Tonight you do vote on whether they get to move forward to final. Thanks. So having reviewed the preliminary plan, we have the following comments. Generally, although no open space is required to be provided in conjunction with this project, given that only 4 residential lots are proposed, open space is required to support the stormwater management facility. Therefore, a homeowners association will need to be created in accordance with the requirements of section 140.72 to provide for the ownership and maintenance of all of the common facilities. We made that same comment the last time. We're just essentially reminding everybody that it's going to happen. Regarding the floodplain, an updated approval from FEMA for the revised Clomer application will be required prior to final plan approval. Regarding wetlands, the new wetland boundary on the east side of Lot 1, created by the filling of a portion of the wetlands, requires both A and B buffers as depicted around the remainder of the wetlands. 2, grading associated with the construction of any improvements on the lots is not a permitted activity within either of the wetland boundaries. All proposed grading will need to honor the buffer, or the buffer width averaging will need to be applied anywhere grading intercepts the Zone B boundary. Specifically, the dwelling on Lot 1 is shown against the outer edge of the wetland buffer, and grading is proposed in both buffers to the south and west. This disturbance of the buffers will need to be offset with averaging. Regarding stormwater management, the town will need to review the revised sediment and stormwater plan. I am still concerned about the grading for the proposed pond embankment and the bulkhead proposed along the northern boundary of Lot 2. It appears that the existing drainage pattern directs flow from the lot to the north onto the subject parcel where it drains to the creek. The proposed bulkhead and grading appear to block that drainage pattern and create a sump condition on the lot to the north. Grading will need to be provided to ensure that any off-site areas that currently drain onto the subject parcel can continue to do so. Regarding streets and sidewalks, the portion of the driveway within the right-of-way at Lot 12 will need to be rebuilt at the maximum allowable 20 foot in width as part of the work to reconfigure the existing cul-de-sac. It can transition back to the existing width at the property line. 2, the existing 12-inch corrugated metal pipe culverts under the driveways for lots 11 and 12 will need to be replaced with 12-inch reinforced concrete pipe culverts as part of the work to reconfigure the existing cul-de-sac. 3, the existing ditch from Demery Drive to the creek along the northern boundary of Lot 11 will need to be cleared and graded to drain to ensure positive drainage in conjunction with the work to reconfigure the existing cul-de-sac. And finally, regarding outside agency approvals, any outside agency approvals that have expired since the time of the last application will need to be reissued. All applicable outside agency approvals will be required prior to final plan approval.
Thank you, Mr. Lober. Do you have any questions of Mr. Lober, gentlemen? No. Okay, we're gonna open it up now, see if we have a presentation. You want to go forward, give your name and everything's just recorded.
Good afternoon. My name is Ray Blakeney. I'm with Plitco Engineering. We're at 53 Atlantic Avenue here in Ocean View. And I'm here with Jeff Wilkinson, the owner of the property. He's available to answer any questions you may have. As Jim said, the site is located at the end of Demery Drive, tax parcel 13412, parcel 327 in the R1 zoning district. It's approximately 2.48 acres in size. As Jim mentioned, there are existing non-tidal wetlands on the site. We've obtained a nationwide 18 permit from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to fill a portion of those wetlands. The remaining non-tidal wetlands on site are subject to the town's regulations, which do include buffers on those wetland areas. And again, we're showing them here on our site plan. We're proposing a 4-lot subdivision on the property, along with a stormwater management system, and an extension of Demery Drive that culminates in a cul-de-sac as we're showing here. The existing cul-de-sac on Demery Drive will be removed, with existing pavement to be maintained to connect to the driveways at front on that existing cul-de-sac. The existing sewer on Demery Drive will be extended up into our cul-de-sac to provide service for the 4 lots. There's also an existing water line that runs along the south side of this parcel that we're going to extend across the proposed cul-de-sac, culminating in a fire hydrant here, and then that'll allow water service to each of the 4 lots as far as utilities go. And that fire hydrant obviously is available, for fire protection as well. Grading. We are proposing a drainage and stormwater management system to collect the site runoff, treat it for sediments in a small wet pond, and then release it into the White Creek at or below pre-existing rates as per state regulations. More specifically, we have a swale running along the side of the proposed bulkhead between this house and the bulkhead that will be then picking up the drainage in a yard inlet here. Same on this other side here. Both those yard inlets will come here to a junction box and then flow into the proposed stormwater management pond. Likewise, for lots 3 and 4, we have drainage structures at the rear of these properties that are then flow forward to the front of the property, where they'll again be flow into the stormwater management system. And between these 2 lots, we have 2 small yard inlets, again, that bring drainage forward and then tie back into our drainage system again into the stormwater management pond. The stormwater management pond has an outlet structure here, then again, as I said, will flow down and out into White Creek. With the system in place, again, we're also proposing to extend the existing bulkhead that runs along the north side of the property, and there's even some slight berming along the stormwater management pond area here. With those in place, no runoff from our site is going to flow onto the neighbor's site. Regarding the neighbor's drainage issues, you've got something from him in your packet. We've reviewed that as well. The existing topography does show a low area here that Jim mentioned in his comments as well. And looking at the existing drainage or the existing topography in the area, it appears that this is all basically one low area. And before this bulkhead was constructed, certainly runoff from Mr. Wilkinson's site was contributing to that runoff and that standing water in that area. with the construction of the bulkhead, that contributing area from the Wilkinson property is going to be cut off. There doesn't appear to have been a defined drainage channel or anything from this low area out through the Wilkinson property to White Creek. I think it was just literally just a low area here. The neighboring property also does appear to have positive drainage from the existing house down to the existing bulkhead. We've got a contour here of about 4.5, flowing down to about a contour 3 at the bulkhead. So he does have positive drainage to move that. It just happens to be that there's a low area right in the middle of that flow line. With the installation of the proposed bulkhead extension and the proposed stormwater management improvements, as I said, there'll be no runoff from the Wilkinson property onto his property, except obviously in catastrophic rain events. Regarding Mr. Lober's comments, as far as the homeowners association, we acknowledge that we'll need to form a homeowners association for the management of the common elements. Likewise, we are updating the approved CLOMAR. That's in progress. As far as the wetland buffers, I've discussed those with Mr. Lober. We do have existing buffers, as I mentioned, around the existing wetland areas. We'll call those out and make sure those are clear and that we're meeting the town requirements. As far as stormwater management, we will submit our final stormwater management plan along with our final plans for review by the town once those are approved by Sussex Conservation District. And then, of course, we'll address the street and sidewalk comments that Mr. Lober has. Those are pretty minor. All told, that's what we're proposing. Happy to answer any questions you have. If you have any questions for Mr. Wilkinson, I'm sure he'd be happy to answer them as well. Thank you.
Mr. Fulco, though, I guess it's a pier that's in the area of lot number 2. Is that going to stay, and is that part of?
The pier, yeah, it will stay. It's existing here, and it will remain, yes.
Will that be used by all the community members, or is that, how's that work?
No, it's just to that lot.
Just for that lot?
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, maintenance of that pier would
Will
fall
not
just
be a part of the homeowners association. It will be
To
just
the lot
just
owner.
that
Okay.
lot owner, yes.
Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, any questions? No. Okay, no questions from the
Thank you.
council, from the board. Let me open it up now to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience that wants to make a public comment relative to this? Remember, when you come up, make sure you give your name and address. So we open up the public comment section at 4:13. Since there's no one here to make a public comment, I close that part of the agenda. We're finished from our end. Gentlemen, is there anybody that wants to make a motion?
Well, I have one question for Jim.
all right.
Yeah, so, obviously there's concerns about the stormwater, and then, based on what we've heard already, that there's a plan to deal with that. And then in your comments, there's a point where the town would need to have some review of the plan in the future.
Yeah.
So with all these in place, and the town reviewing it, I mean, how confident can we be about the future of, water collecting and so forth that's already been, mentioned?
Sure. I don't think the ponding at the sump off-site that Ray referred to closer to the creek can be solved. That it exists as a hole. This project is going to send less water that way, so it's going to stay a hole that gets a little bit less drainage, and the property owner to the north will have to find some way to solve that. It's slightly farther east. There is an area that I believe drains into the property that may not be able to drain into the property because of the berming for the stormwater management facility. I'm not sure that Ray and I are 100% on the same page as to exactly what my concerns were, having listened to his presentation. But that being said, I don't believe that it can't be engineered to find a solution, I guess is the bottom line.
But it will need to be approved by the town.
Absolutely. We're only at preliminary final construction plans still have to come in. We'll go through, you know, to a very fine level of detail for all the code requirements and design requirements as we move
Okay.
forward. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else for Mr. Lover?
Yeah, I just got a question. We were talking about the berm's gonna be and the adjacent property. Once the berm's put up, is it gonna create more pulling on the other side, on the other property now?
I'm afraid that it might keep water from coming onto the property where it used to come onto the property. And what we'll need to look at is whether it creates a new puddle or whether it will eventually be conveyed to that old puddle that we can't really force this developer to be concerned about because it exists.
Right.
We can't let them create a new puddle, for lack of a simpler way to put it, right? But we're gonna make sure that the grading is designed appropriately to let any water come in that used to come in. If that makes sense.
So it should make it where it's not a horrible situation on the
It
other
w-
side.
It's not gonna make it worse,
Right.
correct?
Okay.
Okay. Gentlemen, do I have a motion to move this plan forward?
I make a motion. We go forward with it.
And that would be contingent on Jim's.
Contingent on the report
on-
submitted by
on-
us. In other words,
As Jim's comments laid
yeah,
out.
your motion is to forward the plan with Mr. Lover's report in consideration with it.
Correct.
Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes. With that being said, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Hmm?
Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, meeting's adjourned.